I'm ready to roll? All right. So probably you know my name, Kirk Voclain, because you've probably seen this video, heard of me some kind of way or one of those types of things. My idea for coming up with this was when I first started doing senior portraits of any kind for that matter, one of my problems was posing. Probably like you walk into the studio and there's the subject, in this case a senior portrait. There's the subject, you're about to take the picture and you think to yourself, well, what am I going to do? What do I do? How do I do it? Do I pose them this way? Do I face them that way? All those types of things probably went through your mind. And they may still go through your mind. Well, there is a bit of a system to it. There's a bit of a mental thought process. And over the years of doing senior portraits, I've been photographing seniors since since I was a high school senior, back in 1980. That was probably one of the very first senior portraits I ever did. So since 1980, I've been doing high school senior portraits. And over the years, I've developed a method to the madness. Now, hopefully, after watching this DVD, watching this video, you can get an idea of how I do what I do. So, my idea for this thing was to have a video, have it in such a way that it's almost like me and you are one-on-one. You've come by my studio. This is not scripted. I don't have a little pad in my pocket that I'm thinking, what am I going to say next? This is sort of on the fly. I'm telling you that ahead of time. Call it a warning. So I have a senior model I'm going to introduce you to in just a few seconds. I have 3 models. I have a guy model and I have 2 girl models. One girl model who is of normal size, another girl model who is hefty. And she knows she's bigger than the average senior. She's very comfortable with herself. She knows I'm going to be talking about some of those types of things, about size and weight and things of this sort, and how do you go about photographing a senior who's a little bit overweight. So she knows these things. My senior guy model that I got here, he's got a little bit of a crooked nose. He's listening to me right now. And I'm going to show you what I do with a little bit of a crooked nose and things of this sort. So I'm just going to speak freely. My idea is to have this sort of what goes through my mind when I take the senior pictures. So that's how we're going to kind of run with this thing. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm sure we're going to have a big dog time after it's all said and done. So let me introduce you to my cameraman. He's David. David, say hello to the camera right here. This is my cameraman, David. David is actually one of my seniors from this year. And we was talking about how I do what I do. And he was like, hey, man, I do video. And so I said, well, would you like to do a video with me? And he said, yeah, I'll do it. So this is how we get to David as far as David doing this video. So, and everybody, big hand for David. So let me introduce you to our senior model that we got. This is Tyler. Come on in here, Tyler. And I'm going to show you Tyler. Tyler, atypical senior guy, okay? Has his shirt out his pants, okay? And so the first thing I was wanting to show you is that when it comes to posing a guy, when it comes to lighting him, making sure he's looking comfortable, I don't care who you are, and I'm going to probably say this a dozen times throughout this whole video, I don't care who you are wider. If he stands like this, he's wider this way than if he stands this way, okay? He is smaller here than he is here. Okay, that's every human across the planet. Whether you weigh 3 pounds or whether you weigh 300 pounds, every human is that way. So I've never met a senior, guy or girl, who's ever said, Mr. Kirk, will you please make me look bigger? Never once. Never once has anyone in all the years I've been doing this ever said that. However, I have had a number of seniors say, would you make me look smaller? Now, as far as a guy is concerned, a guy wants to look wide right here, he wants to look small right here, and he wants to look muscular. Every guy on the planet, every one of them across the board. So, right off the bat, very simple, call it posing 101. What you got to make sure you do when you're photographing a guy is make sure, to the best of your ability, that the hips are sort of turned, if your camera angle there, that the hips are turned in such a way that they're even or sideways to the camera, just like where you are now. And then when you leave his hips here, then when he turns the shoulders to the camera, he is wider now here than he is here. As a result of that, you get a V shape to his body. Okay? Now, there's all sorts of little tricks along the way that can add to that. For example, I can have him cross his arms. Cross your arms. Okay? Keep them hips turned like that. Turn your shoulders this way. Forget about his head. We're going to talk about the head in just a minute. Now his shoulders, all of this adds to his mass up here, which is what a guy is supposed to have, and then slims down all the stuff down here, which is his hips and such. Now, another thing you can do, I'm going to flip around right here, is you can have him bend this knee for me, okay? All right? Bend that knee. I have to do this a lot with high school seniors. I have to literally show that we got our hands crossed. Bend this left knee, which is gonna force your hips a little bit to the right. Okay. Now, when he does that, what has happened is this knee is now passing in front of this knee. Okay, which is making him even smaller from your angle. Okay, because now this is real little. This knee is obviously, a knee is smaller than hips. Okay, and so this is all wide. So he really is making an upside down triangle is what we're trying to make out of him. Okay, now here's what happens a lot of times. For whatever reason, let's shift gears just a second before we go into the next segment of this. Is lighting this. The natural inclination, notice how Tyler has fell into this. The natural inclination is for his head to tip exactly the way it has. Tip this way. Now we bring in our light. For whatever reason, we're going to stick this light right here. And I'm now crossed into Tyler's comfort zone. Every human on the planet has this comfort zone around him. Like if I'm hanging out with him right here, he's not comfortable right now, okay? Because I've crossed his comfort zone. So he's not doing it right now because I've already done his senior pictures and he knows about these kinds of things. But if I put the light right here, subconsciously, he starts to try to get out of the comfort zone. He tries to take, this thing has crossed his comfort zone. He pulls out his head to get out of the comfort zone. And now you have his head tipping in a feminine tilt. Okay? He looks sensitive. Okay? So I don't want him to look like that. Okay? I want him to look very masculine. All guys have to look masculine. All of them. Okay? So what you make sure you do is make sure that the head, in all circumstances, if he was a girl, which he's not, but if he was a girl, we could tip his head this way, no problem. We can tip his head this way, no problem. But as a guy, his head has to always tilt to the shoulder that is the furthest from the camera. I'll say that one more time so that we don't get confused. Whatever shoulder is the furthest from the camera, we suddenly switch him all around, we're going to put him right here. This shoulder is now the furthest from the camera. His head has to tip to that shoulder. If you tilt the camera at a weird angle and you make it to where even when he's tilting like this, it looks like this shoulder is now the closed shoulder, you have to tip the head. Always tip the head to the lower shoulder. It is by far the biggest mistake I see that photographers make. They'll drop their light in here, and the reason they'll drop their light in right here is because look what's happening on his face. You got a nice little piece of light touching here. You got a nice piece of light touching right here, down his nose, this cheek, right here. That's extremely flattering. Notice how this light is not touching this ear. This light is sort of skimming out his face right here. It's creating this really wonderful look on his face. So that is the right place to put the light. But because we cross into his comfort zone, what happens is he then tries to get away and he looks feminine. Don't do that, okay? Always tip the head to the farthest shoulder, all right? So this is just like a 101 pose, all right? So we could take this shot. In fact, let me do that. I'm going to go ahead and light this the way I would really like this if doing his senior pictures. All right, and I'm going to take this shot. And hopefully, once we get all into editing, that shows up on the thing. So y'all will get to look at it too. All right, so flipping around way over here. Pull my camera in. Make sure it's all turned on. I told y'all this was going to be raw. So this is real live. Lights on. Test. Let's do one shot right here. Make sure the camera's in its happy place. And all right, so we're going to take one picture of Tyler, just like this, just like he is. All right, now, here's what's going through my mind right now. What's going through my mind is I'm thinking to myself, well, this is the first shot out of the thing. This is going to be the very first, because I keep all the images in order when I show them to the customers. I'm thinking to myself, well, do I really want the first shot out of the thing to be a pissed off, mad face? No, I don't want that. I want the first shot out of the thing to be a little bit happy, because I'm going to say stuff that Tyler probably don't even know I think about, David neither. But moms have more money than they do, okay? Mom is the one with the checkbook. Mom is the one who's buying. Mama is the other one. After mom, the grandmother. She's the other one who's buying. You got to make sure that they are happy. So when it comes to posing and all these types of things, you have to think about the smile, the expression, all that kinds of stuff, okay? So on the first shot out the camera, first image in the book, I want to make sure it's a happy picture, that he's got the big cheesy face. Another thing it does is it kind of gives me a little bit of insight into what is and what is not real smiles. So I'll come back here and I'll tell Tyler, what I want you to do, dude, stay looking here at my camera. I need that big old cheesy smile. At least pretend you, hey, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, boom, and I'll take a shot. All right, and I'll look at the back of the camera and I'll say, yes, that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. I only take one picture per pose. The only way I'm going to take another shot right behind that is if he blinked, or if he gave me one of these smiles, okay, or if it's some stupid kind of, you know, something retarded like that. Then I'm going to take another one. But for the most part, boom, we've done that. It's time to move on. Now, one pose will typically move me into this pose would typically get my brain going into another pose. So I'm thinking, okay, good, like nice masculine shot. Let me do another cool masculine shot. What I want you to do, Tyler, I want you to unfold, relax, and I want you to squat down. Now, a lot of times what I have to do is I have to show them. Here's one of the problems with being 48 years old and still doing high school senior pictures, is you got to stay limber, okay? So I'll show him that what I want you to do is get down low like this and put your elbows on your knees like that, okay? See what I'm talking about? Just kind of get down low, okay? And boom. By showing them the pose that I want, it's easier for him to see it and visualize it, and then by that, it's easier for you to do it. Okay, so here we go. Put the elbow like that. Now, I'm always cautious of hands. Right now, it's the back of the hand that I'm seeing. I'm not really fond of the back of the hand. The back of the hand is wide. Again, I don't want that big wide hand being bigger than his face. It draws too much attention away from his face. So what I want to do is I want him to just kind of let all this relax, okay, without falling, because I will laugh if you fall. Let all this relax, relax. So now it's the side of his hand, okay? Side of his hand, a lot more pleasing to look at. Take this hand, make a fist, drop that fist up on your knee, like that. Good. And that kind of puts him into a nice little masculine pose. Again, we got the shoulder here, the back shoulder, head tipping to the back shoulder, all right? Then I light it. Okay? Now, just as a word of warning, word of caution for this kind of pose, and you'll see what I'm talking about as soon as you get him all posed out, be careful that it don't look like he's sitting on the toilet. Okay? Very important. You do not want that to happen. So, sometimes to prevent that from happening, what you have to do is, well, yes, that's it. That's what I want. You have to kind of get really, really tight, really, really close. Crop the camera in such a way that you get real tight right here, and that's going to prevent it from looking like he's sitting on the toilet or something like that. Okay? All right, I told y'all this is kind of raw. So, before we go into the next little segment, so as to save some time and things like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background. This is my thinking. You can stand up, Tyler. My thinking is I'm going to shoot 6 shots in each outfit. I have found that 6 shots in each outfit makes a nice round number. So, if I'm going to shoot 6 shots in each outfit, I'm going to do 2 maybe on this background. Sometimes if I pull it down, the customer goes, oh, I love that background. Well, I might shoot 3, but that's it. So I'm now going to take Tyler out of here. We're going to stop the camera for just a second, and I'm going to change everything all around, and we're going to crank this up and shoot the other 4 shots of Tyler in a different type setting. Cool deal? Be right back. so we're back. So what I've done is I've rammed all my lights to one side of the room. I changed it up, put a nice boring brown background that'll look really, really cool whenever I finish all my magic Photoshop. Hey, maybe that's an idea for another DVD, is a Photoshop DVD. Hey, there we go. Ideas are just flowing here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is bring Tyler in the next sequence of 4 shots. Remember I told you I shoot 6 all total. I've shot 2 of them on a white background, and I'm going to shoot a total of 6. Total of 6. So I'm going to shoot 4 more in this outfit. This next series of 4, excuse me, I'm going to do it in such a way that it is just like as if I was doing his senior pictures for real. Okay? I'm going to sort of forget there's a camera. I'm going to talk what's going through my brain, and if it hits me, I'm going to talk about stuff and things of that sort. But for the most part, this next 4 shots would be exactly what I would do if I was doing his senior pictures. The only difference is he's going to hear what's going on in my brain. Okay? So Tyler, let me bring you over this way. What I want you to do is I want you to lean your back right here. Lean on this brown background. Lean where your back is touching but your butt is not touching. Okay, now just as a side note, the reason I'm having him do that, where his butt is not touching, is because if his butt touches, it makes him look down squatty. It just don't look like it should. So by pulling his butt off the background, it puts him into a better angle. Okay, back at you. And then I want you to take this foot, let it come across like that. Toe down for me. And the reason toe down, again, is because it makes it look more masculine, more guy looking. Then I want you to hook your thumbs in your pockets, which also is a more guy kind of thing. Good, both thumbs. Good. And now, for some reason, whenever a guy does this, and one is not made into a fist, it just looks, again, it looks feminine. And I want it to look masculine. Okay? The other thing you have to watch out for in the course of posing is every little freaking detail, okay? Like, for example, his ring was a little crooked. Make sure the ring is straight, okay? Now, my lights are primarily coming from here. That means that this is going to be, because of the angle of the camera, ever so slightly, but this shoulder is going to be the one closest to the camera. This shoulder is the one slightly away from the camera, so I want to make sure his head, ever so slightly, tips in that direction. So there you go. That's the basic pose. I'm going to shoot it horizontal. I'm going to move in over here. And we're going to drop that in just like that. Shoot it like that. And another thing you got to watch out for, watch what he does, is see he's dropping his chin down, way down. Now if he just like that, see Tyler brought that chin back up a little bit more, Tyler, right there. By doing that, what you have is he's looking straighter at the camera. And because he's looking straighter at the camera, it makes for a better shot. So right there, bud, staying totally serious, right? Awesome. Let me look. Excellent. That's perfect. Now, from there, what I want you to do, I want you to walk straight on to me. Right there. Stop. All right. Now, Tyler is a small guy. I mean, he probably works out, but he's not Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything like that. But I know Tyler would probably like to look like Arnold, okay? So what I'm going to do is the next shot is going to make Tyler look bigger than he really is, okay? So what I'm going to do that is I'm going to widen him out. Now, you don't make the mistake of doing this to somebody who is too wide to start with. So walk towards me. And what I'm looking for right now is stop. I'm looking for that light rimming this side of his face. I'm looking for that light rimming this side of his face. Let your feet separate more. Okay, a little bit more. Put your thumbs in your back pockets. All right, just a little bit. Let your hips go that way, like that. Good. And the reason I had his hips go this way is because then this shoulder is going to naturally tip like this. That puts this shoulder, the far shoulder. It's going to make it look cooler for his head to tip a little bit that way. The light's going to be coming from this side. And because he's straight on, but he's got the size to get away with it, because he's straight onto the camera, but because his elbows are out, it's going to make for a much better, you make him look bigger than he really is. Okay? So, that's the next thing we're going to do. Like that. I'm going to probably shoot that vertical, which I am. He's going to stay totally serious because I'll probably make this in black and white later. Chin up a little bit, bud. Stop. Awesome. Right there. Totally serious. Looking cool. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Awesome. Relax. Good. Now, so far, I don't know if you've noticed it, but that's 4 shots. 1 smiley, 3 serious. What's going through my mind right about now is I'm starting to think to myself, whoa, mama, aunt and uncles, mom, cousins, man, I got to sell to them too. So I got to make sure they're happy. So what I'm going to do now is I need to do a smiley picture. I need to do something with the big cheesy smiles again to make it even. That would give me 2 smiles and 3 serious and 2 smiles. So what I want you to do, here's a very productive, very common pose that I do with guys that sells for every time. I want you to put your right foot forward, your left foot back. And I want you to lean on both elbows. Just let your hands go down. Now, most people have the tendency to fall into their shoulders at this point, just like he's doing. I don't want you to do that. And what you have to say is, give it a feeling like you're poking out your chest. Boom. All right, that brought him taller. Okay, now, I don't know if you can see it from the video, but he has a nose that kind of does this crazy thing. If a nose points in this direction, which is what his kind of does, then you have to light it from that direction. Wherever the light is, it's going to push a crooked nose in the opposite direction. So he's got this little end of the nose that kind of does this. By putting the light over here, it straightens it out, and when the picture comes back, he's got a straight nose. So there you go. That's another little posing tip for you. And what I want you to do is tip right into here. Same thing. Far shoulder. Tip the head to it. I must have said it a dozen times. You got to do that. Got to do it. Looking over here at my camera. I'm going to shoot it real tight. Just like that. And then we got a real tight. Crop it right into the face. I'm actually chopping off the top of his head so that we get it real, real tight. And I need that big old cheesy smile, bud. Oh, be happy. Don't make me tickle you. Yeah, like that. Cool. Right there, man. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so that's really cool. But now I need just one more shot, right? I need one more shot to get to my 6 shots of this outfit. And while I like to maximize posing, but I like it to look totally different. That one was vertical. Watch what happens if I take and swing your butt that way, pull this elbow back, make a fist with this hand, let your elbow stretch way out, and just kind of get in low like that, and put this hand leaning right here. Cover up one eye, just totally one eye. Stay looking straight at my camera for me. Right there. Cool. Cool. Right there. Totally serious. Almost ticked off. Good. David, I'm going to flip this light around. So I don't know which side you want to go on, but I'm going to flip it all the way around that way. Cross like that. Make him real super serious. Looking way into my camera just like that, bud. Real contrasty. Maybe even flip that into black and white later. And right there, dude. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now, just so y'all understand my brain on this kind of stuff is, in reality, will he probably buy that last picture I just did? In reality, no. He's not going to buy it. But because I only shoot 6 pictures, the other 5, he loves them. Now, he's not just going to buy 5 and leave 1 on the table, okay? He's going to have to buy it. It's just the way it works. It's like, well, I can't just leave 1 on the table. So make sure if you shoot 6 shots, that 5 of them are like, oh my God. If 1 of them has to just be fluff, then so be it. They're going to buy it anyway. That's just a little inside thing. All right? I want you to go put on your short pants. Next time you see me, we're going to be outside photographing David outside. David's the cameraman. Tyler's the guy. Tyler photographing Tyler outside in the shorts. So we'll be right back. Go change. Now that we're outside, this is not really a video, a DVD about lighting and cameras and setup and that type of thing. It's mostly, my focus is posing. But I will say that to help me pose, I have a tripod. I shoot everything on a tripod. And here's why. Just so you can visualize this. Imagine you are my subject. Imagine I don't have a tripod and I'm going to pose you. Okay, I'm going to say, tip your head this way. And I'm going to look through the camera like this. Now you look good, but I'm going to say, I need you to tip your head now a little bit this way. Okay, oh, now he went too far. Now I'm going to go, now tip your head this way. I'm going to look through the camera and say, nothing but a waste of time. The other problem is when I take your picture, boom, I just took your picture. Now what happens is, I look at the camera, did he blink? I have no idea. I got a chimp at the back of the camera. I got to look at this thing until I get it right. And so I end up wasting tons of time. Most people do not put their camera on the tripod because of the fact that they think By putting it on a tripod, it's going to be heavy, it's going to be hard, I'm not going to be able to do it. But now watch the difference. If I then by putting it on a tripod, and I get it all framed up the same way I had it before, where I want it, there it is. Good, get you all in focus. Okay, now, if I need, the camera's basically set, but you need to tip your head a little bit. I can take my eye away from the camera, tip your head just a little bit this way. Yeah, right there, that's perfect. Hold that right there, perfect, perfect, and boom, done. Does he see the difference? Because the camera is being held steady, and you are not moving, the camera's not moving, I end up with better poses. So just think about that whenever it's your turn to go take some pictures next time. That a tripod may be the missing link for you doing better posing. So we're going to bring Tyler back in. And we're going to do a couple of more cool poses of Tyler. Come see, buddy. So I'm thinking inside my brain right now, what I'm thinking about is the fact that I kind of do not have enough, you know, mama, quote-unquote, traditional portraits. Those traditional portraits are the ones that are going to sell you bigger pictures, which is where the ones you're going to make more money at. It's also the ones that, if it's a tight headshot, they typically buy more wallets of. Those type of things. So I need some more tight stuff. All that far away stuff is fantastic, and it adds excitement, and they love seeing that stuff. But again, after it's all said and done, if they're not buying stuff, you know, then go get a job at Burger King. Okay? I mean, the objective here is to sell pictures, okay? So watch this. What I want you to do, bud, I want you to come all the way around here, and I want you to put your elbows up on top of here. Now, be conscious of the ring. Here's his ring. Make sure that thing shows, okay? Some senior guys don't even wear a ring, so you don't have to worry about it, okay? Then, again, because of what I know is going to happen with the way the camera is, this is going to be your far shoulder. Drop your chin for me right there. And tip just a little bit. Now, what I don't want you to do is press real hard. Don't press hard, because if you do, you got that face, and I don't want that face, okay? Just barely touch, okay? And stay looking over here at my camera. Now, I don't know if you're noticing it, but what you're seeing is a lot of really lousy lighting. So what I got to do to fix that lousy lighting is, normally I would have Mom out here, and I could have Mom hold this right here, but I don't have Mom today, okay? So what I'm going to do to be able to do this without Mom is I'm going to first of all get this thing posed, get it set inside the camera. Here's yet another reason to have a tripod. You know what? I'm changing my mind. I want your head tipping to this shoulder, because that's actually the low shoulder from this angle. Sorry about that. So right there. Good. Now, everything's set. Don't look at me. I want you to look at the camera. Look through the hole of the camera, okay? And all I have to do is I can hold this with one hand, because the camera's on a tripod. I can hold this with one hand, blocks the light off of him. Stay looking at my camera. Big old cheesy smiles, man. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. And just like that, check it. Perfect. So that is how yet another advantage to having a tripod. So, what I want you to do now, I want you to flip all the way around. I want you to face that way, standing right where you at. Come see, David, we're working all the way around the world. And what I want you to do, you'll notice that with guy posing, it starts to become the same thing. It takes about 6 or 7 shots, and it all starts to be a variation of exactly the last thing you just did. I want you to leave your hands in your pocket. Here's another thing I want you to observe. Watch, come see a little bit this way. All right, observe that I didn't tell him, I just told him to put his hands in his pocket, but he was already doing that. I constantly watch people, okay? I constantly watch how they hold themselves, okay? Now, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I want you to watch this. Come see me this way. Watch this. This is our next model in just a few minutes. Kelsey. Now watch, don't move, Kelsey. Do you see what Kelsey's doing? I'm over here watching Kelsey while I'm about to take his picture. She has crossed the leg. Look at the leg. See the leg crossed right here, put the elbow right here, hand right here, boom. All right, so she's kind of fallen into this little cool pose. All right, and I'm watching that and I'm thinking, yeah, that's pretty cool. Now here's something I don't like. I don't like the hand right here growing out the side of her hip. So I'm gonna clean that up. But what I constantly do is I constantly watch people. I watch how they hold themselves. I shoot the breeze with them. I tell them jokes. I do all kinds of crazy things like that so as to give them the opportunity to fall into their own poses. Now, she don't know this, but she does this all the time. And so by not telling her what I'm doing, she's going to fall into real poses. And that's what I'm looking for. So, cool. Side note. Moving back this way. All right, Tyler. Back at you. I want you to leave your hands in your pocket. I want you to lean on your shoulder against the back side of that truck. Right there. Awesome. Looking over here at my camera. Again, his head's tilted in the right direction. Looking over here at me. Roll your face to me a little bit this way. Great. Let me get you in focus. Chin up a little bit, bud. Good. Be happy. I know you have teeth because I've seen them. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. Great. Now, real quick, don't move. I want to show you one of the reasons, and I'm going to get into this a little bit more when we do the girls, but I'm going to flip around. You stay right there. I'm going to go around to the other side. One of the reasons this looks the way it does, and one of the reasons it's so pleasing to look at, is because his shoulders, notice, are at this angle. His elbows are, his shoulders, excuse me, are at that angle. His elbows are a little bit cocked. His eyes are cocked. So notice the angle from here to his eyes. That the angles converge over here. Now, if his head was, again, tilted this way, he looks feminine. Not only that, but his eyes would be on the same plane as his shoulders. We're going to talk about this more, but you do not want that. If you have two of something, you have two shoulders, the eyes should be at a different angle than the shoulders. Then, next comes the elbows. Next, the hips, the knees, the feet. We're going to talk about this a little bit more as we go. But that's one of the things you constantly begin to train yourself to look for, is making sure that these angles are constantly moving. Cool? Come see this way, buddy. All right. Oops. Sorry. Flipping you around. Come see. So in the course of photographing, I'm always talking to my subject. And let's just say in the course of shooting the breeze with him, I figured out, I love surfing or whatever. I mean, he doesn't. I mean, like there's surfing in South Louisiana. But in the course of shooting the breeze with people, everybody has a thing. Everybody has something that they love that they love to do. So he's got this yellow shirt. I just coincidentally happen to have this yellow surfboard. So what I want you to do is plop your butt for me right here, lean your back for me right there. Swing your knees more that way. Okay, so notice the angle of the surfboard. Slight lean towards him. I want to make that comfortable for it to look like him leaning there. I want you to, first of all, bring your feet a little closer to you. Let your feet separate a little bit more. And let your elbows leaning on your knees like that. Yeah, that. Okay? So, now, if you notice, what I did is look at his spine. The angle of his spine runs at about the same angle as the surfboard. So they're running at about the same thing. I'm going to tip his head this way. Just a little bit to that low shoulder, just a little bit like that. Great. Now, the only thing that's bugging me about this shot is that little bit of shine that's on his shoulder and that's also on his hands. Let both feet go down, toes down. Better. Little bit of shine that's happening on his shoulder. So what I could do to fix that, let me get my camera all set in the right spot. Just like that. What I could do is I could flip my camera over to self-timer mode. I'm going to switch it over to self-timer mode, and I'm going to set it to a 10-second timer, okay? I'm going to get him all framed up. I'm going to get because again, I'm showing you how this can be done by yourself. I'm going to get my reflector, and I'm going to want to put the reflector right about here to block. Notice I'm blocking the sun off of his feet, his arms, his shoulders, just like that, okay? But I'm going to be my own reflector man. Don't look at me, Tyler. Stay looking at the camera. Keep that face. And I'm going to count it down for you, buddy. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the boring part. 8, 9. Start flashing. Here we go. Here it comes. Bam. And just like that, you can run your own reflector. It's a little bit more difficult. Let me check. Excellent. It's a little bit more time consuming, a little bit more aggravating. You can have mom do it. But that's another way that you can do those types of things. Stand back up for me. So, just like that, I've shot 3 shots of Tyler. I need 3 more things. Now, this yellow, all works good. I'm always looking for things that work good, contrasting colors and things of that sort. So, I know for a fact that this yellow tends to work really, really well with green. And I got plenty green back here. So, David, as we pass, we're going to flip this camera around this way. And, Kelsey, we're going to move you, sugar, over there. So what I want you to do, Tyler, I want you to come see right here. Just, oh, it don't roll, or it does roll. Oh, there you go. See, this is a rough video, but we're having a blast. Sit for me right there, buddy. Back your butt up till it kind of hangs off the thing, and lean on the tree. Good. And I'm going to get kind of a tight head shot of him, looking way over here at me. Tip your head a little bit that way. Let me try this, because here's another little thing that I see happening right now with this shot, is it looks like to me that he just looks a little, he lacks balance. And that's another thing I'm always looking for in a shot, is he's got, you know, head and shoulders and arms, but then it just sort of disappears into the bottom of the grass. So I need balance. To balance it out, I'm going to have him bring his left knee up in the air and hook his heel and just put his elbow up on his leg. Now we got balance. Now his head has something to sit on top of, and it's more pleasing to look at. All right, tip your head right there. Great. Looking into my camera right there. I'm going to definitely need that big old cheesy smiles right here, dude. Good, good. Oh, be happy, man. Like right there. Here we go. Awesome. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Wait. Oh, of course. Now here's the thing. Stay where you are. Stay looking at my camera. Don't forget, after you do one of those 10-second things, to take it off the 10-second thing, or else it's doing another 10 seconds. See, I had to wait. Because stupid me. I told y'all this was raw. I forgot to take it off of the 10-second mode. And so now it's back where it belongs. Let me check that one. Excellent. Very cool. Okay, man, stand up. So what do we need? We need 2 more shots. We've done 4, 2 more, and that's going to be the 6 shots on this outfit. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show them to you. Show them to him. What I want you to do, Tyler, come see this way. I need something. Go inside there for me. I need something that's going to be kind of a tight head shot. Good. What I want you to do is just kind of grab your hands over the top, and at the same time have some green in it. Like that. Put your hands closer together and just kind of lean your head on your hands like that. Like that. Good. Something that would look kind of cool in black and white, probably. And at the same time be kind of a tight head shot. And this will be our 5th shot. Now, I personally think he needs just a little bit of light in his face. Again, that's where my reflector comes in. On the white side, I can just turn it like that, put a little extra light on his face, and it makes it much more pleasing to look at. Right there, dude, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Excellent. Come out of there. So, there's our 5th shot. We need 1 more, and let's do it like this. What I want you to do, bud, is sit for me right here. Sit flat on your butt right there with your back leaning against this thing. Tell you what, push just a little bit that way. A little bit more. Good. Now I'm not really worried about the light on his legs because I'm again focusing on his face. So you're going to tip your head. Now I don't know if y'all put 2 and 2 together here. Bend your other knee because it can make your shoulders better. There. I don't know if y'all put 2 and 2 together here, but this is being done at exactly 3:15. Okay, and we're at Central Time, and we are in the middle of daylight savings time. So the sun is right there. I mean, it's middle of the day. It's totally the wrong time of day to do this. And I'm doing it at that time on purpose, just to show you which can be done. All right, looking up here at me like that. Slowly twist your face this way. Twist, twist, twist. Right there again. Big old cheesy smiles. Oh, be happy. Like that, dude. 1, 2, 3. Let me look. Awesome. Now, just so you understand what I was doing there, stay looking at my camera. What I was doing, I was cropping in right here. This is if you don't get nothing out of all this, remember, guys, far shoulder, tip the head to the far shoulder. All right? I'm only shooting 6 shots. What I'm trying to do is get 6 shots that pleases everybody. The girlfriend, the mama, the mom, the dad, everybody gets pleased from those 6 shots. Then, when he changes clothes, we repeat. This last one was right here, real tight. So I got all this light down here that's not pleasing, but I'm not photographing that, so it doesn't matter. I'm right in here. So that just gives you a quick 12 shots when it comes to doing a guy. That I try to, those are some of the thoughts that go through my mind when it comes to doing that so as to produce absolutely, hopefully, the best type images. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to photograph a high school senior girl. We're going to have her go change clothes, and we'll be right back in the studio. So here we go. This is Kelsey. I can introduce to y'all in just a few minutes. We're gonna do girl poses. All right, next. So what I want you to take note of is she has this dark outfit. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to talk about do a whole video just on posing without discussing lighting just a little bit, because it kind of relates. So she has this dark outfit, and just what's going through my mind is I'm thinking, just kind of a scary, dark, kind of imminent, just deep kind of image. So to do that, I got to have the lighting. I got to have the lighting kind of scary and dark. And I got to have the pose kind of scary and dark. Okay? So the first pose we're going to do with her, I'm going to light her kind of strongly from the sides, and I'm going to have a light coming from behind her to light through her hair. So all of that's going to create kind of a scary image. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So what I want you to do, I want you to put one foot forward, the other foot back, doesn't matter which one. Lean on both elbows. Let your hands go in your hair like this. Like that. Let this elbow a little bit like that. Awesome. Good. Then, light her right there. Good, 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 good. Then, kind of coming down low. Keep that face, sugar. You're looking fabulous. Just like that. Love it. On 3. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Wait. Don't move. Awesome. Now, let me just show y'all. Let me show you. Stay where you at. Real quick, what I did was, the light's coming from here. I got this light skimming her hair. I got that light lighting up behind her. Okay? I got the dark face, got the dark clothes, got the dark background. So that's what I was trying to do. All right? Stand back up. Same thing like we were just talking with the last model, Tyler. When it comes to posing girls, on the other hand, you can get away with a lot, double the, it's like suddenly now you have double the posing, okay? The other thing about girls is they have probably, I never asked Kelsey, did you dance when you was, no. Never did dancing and stuff. Cool. I asked her to do this because she did fall into poses really, really comfortable, like whenever I did her senior pictures this year. So I thought most of the time, I figured she'd be perfect for this, and she is. But most of the time, whenever you come across a senior that just sort of falls into poses like that, the reason is because they've danced. They've been to dance since they've been, 2 years old or whatever. Well, she says she didn't, but you'll start taking note of that when you're doing senior pictures. You can give you something to talk about. So, did you dance when you made? Oh, yeah, I've been in dance for 15 years. You'll find out that those girls tend to be able to pose better because they're all the time doing these toe tipsy things and all this other good stuff that gives their body, their muscles, to put yourself in those types of poses and to be limber enough to do it. Okay, with that said, I'm going to kind of do another one. Since that was all set up, I want to do another one just real similar to what I just did of Tyler, but completely in the opposite direction to show you what I'm talking about with girls versus boy poses. So I'm going to have you stand right here, babe, toes facing me this way, okay? Bend your right knee, okay? Now watch, when she did that, by bending her right knee, it forced that hip to go out that way, okay? Then, and just like before, I've never ever had a senior girl on the planet ever say, Kirk, would you make me look bigger? Never. Never, never, never. Always want to look smaller than they actually are, okay? So by doing this, again, she's smaller this way, like we talked about before, than she is straight on. Now, girls have an addition. They have boobs, okay? Let's just get it out there. And those boobs tend to make her have this hourglass shape, along with wider hips for, I know this is so male chauvinist, childbirth, okay? But that's the way a girl is shaped. So it is imperative that when you put them in a pose, you accentuate all of that stuff if you want a pose that they're going to think looks good. So by bending this knee, it forces that hip out. She's now smaller. Her stomach area, waist area is all smaller because it's facing sideways to the camera. Okay? Then I take her shoulders, roll the shoulders to me, and what I want you to do with your hands, put them up over your head like this. Now, what that does is it makes her wide here. She shrinks down to the stomach. The hips, hip kicking out, makes the hips shoot out. Then the hips come back in, just like what I did before. The knees, one knee in front of the other. So she gets this perfect hourglass thing going on, which is what a girl wants to look like. The last thing that you got to do with a girl, especially in a pose like this, where if you notice, let me kick you just a little bit. Let your hip go harder. That way. When her hip goes harder this way, it takes her shoulders to me. Like that. Good. So now, you got the shoulders going like this. You got the hips going like this. You want each one of those angles to go opposite. I'm going to take her face and I'm going to tip it this way, which is a feminine tilt. It's tilting to the shoulder that is closest to the camera. By doing that, you now have a pose that is really fun to look at. Okay? What I don't like about this, everything's cool. I don't like shooting straight into the hand. So I'm going to modify that a little bit. I'm going to have her do this so that I'm shooting the side of the hand. Okay? Like that. That. Looking great. Let's shoot it. And if you notice, the key of this image is really kind of matching, just like she's got the dark clothes, so I got the dark background. The key of the image is looking good. Great. Great, love it, right there, sugar, you're looking beautiful. I need just the thought of a smile like you're flirting with your boyfriend. Beautiful, right there. 1, 2, 3, excellent. Excellent, you can relax. Okay, so those two. It's the same process. You're going to start noticing a bit of redundancy from the last one to now. Well, wait a minute, you just said that, you just did that. Well, that's kind of what I do. It's the same thing over and over. But because here's where she's different than any other person on the planet. It's an amazing phenomenon. But she's got 2 eyes, she's got a nose and a mouth and hair and a chin and cheeks and a forehead and a neck, but she don't look like nobody else. Okay, she got all the same parts as everybody else, but don't look like nobody else. Now, you put a bag over her head, and you could probably say, oh, well, that body looks like this body, and there's all sorts of similar body shapes and stuff. But even with all these parts that she has, she don't look like nobody else on the planet. So I could put her in exactly the same pose that I put somebody else in, as long as there's just a slight change. Like, instead of a brown background, we're going to use a black background. Just, boop, that little slight change. It could be exactly the same pose, and her friends are going to think it looks so different than anybody else. So those are some other little side tricks, okay? So, again, just like before, I want to concentrate on several headshots because that's where I make the most money, and at the same time, I want to flatter her best I can. Now, one of the reasons why I asked her to do this, she's just going to hear all kinds of stuff that she didn't know went through my mind. But she's very symmetrical, okay? Very, very symmetrical in the face. What I mean by that is if you would pull out a ruler and measure from here to here and here to here, you'd notice it's almost the same number. If you'd measure from the middle of her nose out or the middle of her nose this way, it's almost the same number. The width of the lips as they are in relation to the eyes, I think... Yeah, the ends of the mouth line straight up with the bottom of the pupils, okay? The distance, the size forehead versus the size of the rest of her face. This much of her forehead is exactly 1/3. This is 2/3 of the entire face, okay? All these little things that you got to watch for when it comes time to posing people. So let's just say, for the sake of conversation, that Miss Kelsey here has one of these big old foreheads that's like this. Okay, which of course would be really freaky looking, all right? She probably wouldn't pose her hair like that. What you would have to do is you would have to decide on posing or do things that would make that more pleasing, okay? Like, for example, here's what I want you to do. I want you to put your hand like this, okay? And look at the camera. Okay, we're not going to take this picture, but just so you can kind of get an idea what I'm talking about. If you shot that right here, you would fix this big ugly forehead. Okay, which you don't happen to have, I'm just making it ugly, okay? So there's little things like that that you always, as a professional photographer, have to constantly look for. I already told you about Tyler with the crooked nose. She, unfortunately, don't have no crooked stuff to fix. So it's going to be real super easy to take her pictures. For that reason, you can do an image that's like this that becomes quite awesome to look at. How are we looking on time? We got about 10 minutes? 12? All right, awesome. Here's what I want you to do. Come stand right there. Standing straight up. Put one hand on top of the other. And I'm going to shoot under my light. Okay? Straight on. I want you to put your face like this. Chin down a little bit. Good. Let your hips go this way. Good. Chin down slowly. Stop. Right there. Keep your face totally serious. Now, here's a cool thing about doing this kind of shot, is one of these can absolutely lead into another. Let me get my light. Straight on. All right, I'm going to shoot this one vertical, just like that. Totally serious. Right there. I'm going to do it on 3, baby. 1, 2, 3. Now, since I did that, which is really, really cool, what I now want you to do is I want you to then, I want you to lean, take this elbow, shift it way over like that, lean into it like this. Good, like that. And then looking up at my camera, just by a simple shift like that, and the light, for the most part, is not going to move too much. So it's going to be basically the same thing. You're going to go from vertical to horizontal. Chin down for me, Booger. Right there, great. Like that. And then we're going to change the expression to big old cheesy smiles. Like that, right? Whoa, whoa, one more time. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Great. Relax. Stand back up. So the camera, the lights didn't move. The camera didn't move too much. You just shift her from one pose to the other. You notice for the last 4 shots, I haven't really changed the background either. But yet all of those are going to, for the most part, look different. That's another thing that I'm trying to always do, to give a maximum variety produces the biggest sales. So I am going to change the background. And the way my stuff is all set up is I try to have stuff that I can quickly move from one to another. So that's why all my lights hang off of rails. Just drop this down. Whoa, let's change it to that background. Give this a whole different look by bringing in maybe a chair. And here's the thing about girls and chairs. I'm going to show you. Cool, quick girl chair pose. Number 1, sit flat on your butt, following the chair, just like normal. It's like you would normally sit. Good. Then what I want you to do is I want you to take and I want you to cross your right over your left. Then I want you to lean on this elbow. Pull this hand to you. Let this hand hang off the arm of the chair. Then I want you to roll your face into this shoulder. Good. Now, one thing you gotta get to where you notice things like this, or else get to be real good at retouching, is notice the bra straps. Okay? You can't let that happen. You gotta fix that. Or if you're uncomfortable with going over and fixing something like that, go ahead and lean right there. Have the mom come over and fix it. Or tell her to fix it. But I didn't want to tell her to fix it because she fell into just the right pose. Okay? So, it's the same principle as what we talked about just 2 seconds ago, whereby the head is tilting to the high shoulder. Turn your face a little bit like that. Good. Which is a feminine tilt. This knee coming across puts that at a different angle. Hands, elbows, all shifted into a different angle. And if it ends up being exactly in the same angle, what I would do is tilt the camera. Okay? I'm going to have you roll your face a little bit like this. Tip your head slow. Stop. Right there. Fabulous. Perfect. Let me get you in focus. Just like that. Perfect. Right there, baby. Little smirk of a smile. A little bit more. Like a little flirty with the boyfriend. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now, again, one pose can then lead into another pose, which, watch how easy this is. And it can look totally different. Take the light, the power of the light down just a little bit. Uncross your knees. Cross them the other way. Shift your hip this way, or you're noticing how I'm posing her, and I ain't touched her yet. And it's very important that when it comes to posing girls, you don't notice with Tyler, I didn't mind touching him. Girls, you don't touch girls unless you're a female photographer, and then it's just the opposite. Okay? Now, your knees swing around this way, like that. Now, shift more onto your hip. Like push your butt that way. More. More. I know it starts feeling stupid, but a little bit more. Good. Then I want you to take this elbow, and I want you to lean on both elbows coming this way. Like that. Good. Lean a little harder going that way. Good. And bring your face way into this shoulder. Right there. Good. Let your hands fall. Like that. Good. Now, a little more edgy, maybe a little more sexy. Look up here at me. Chin up a little bit more. Now, notice that based on what I told y'all just a little while ago, that is now a masculine tilt. But a girl can do a masculine tilt into her head, and it looks fantastic, okay? A guy can only do masculine. I know I told you I was going to say that like 100 times. Right there. And one pose led into another. Just like that. Love that little smirk. Sugar, you're looking fabulous. Right Bingo. Don't move. Here we go. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Beautiful. Unfold. So that was 6 shots, just like that. Boom, 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 boom. One leading into another. 5 shots? 5 minutes. Okay. 6 shots, 5 minutes. Got it. Okay. Stand back up. So before we run out of tape and before she goes change clothes, I want you to just take note of one quick thing so that you can now see it straight on without all the stuff in front of her. I want you to stand straight right there, face the camera. Okay? Now, not to pick on her, but notice how wide she is there versus turn this way. Let's go this way, the other way. There. Now, see how much more slimmer she is there? Okay? Now, shoulders to me, just to drive this home. A little bit more. Bend your left knee. And now the hourglass starts to happen. And now what I want you to do, let's just put your hands on your face like this. Like that. Boom. Now, you got the shoulders, the wide, the hips, the knees, and you got that perfect little hourglass shape. So, just like that, those are the type of things I mean when I say one thing going into another. When we come back, we're going to be outside. She's going to change clothes. Awesome. We're moving on. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So here's another thing about carrying it on a tripod is that this is very much my normal setup. Okay. I have the camera, tripod as I'm walking around, my reflector. Okay. It balances just like you see it. I know that kind of freaks some of y'all out that I would carry a camera like this, but it's very comfortable. It ain't gonna fall off. If it does go to fall off, it's easy to grab. It's easy to carry this. Talk to the customer. I can walk like this. I can walk a mile like this. It would be no big deal. So I just keep giving y'all ideas, different things as far as reasons to go get you a tripod. By the way, just for a side note, this is a Gitzo tripod. Gitzo don't pay me anything to say this, but I'm telling you, it's awesome. It's a carbon fiber tripod. It is a bit expensive, but it'll last you a lifetime. It's extremely light, and that's one of the reasons why I love it so much. Okay, so just real quick, normally I do the more dressy type things inside, and the more casual, like she just did, outside. But just for the sake of fun, we flip that up a little bit. We're going to do the more dressy thing outside and the more casual thing inside. That's another thing that you can do periodically with yourself to challenge yourself, to come up with ways of forcing yourself to get out of a normal routine. If you're all the time doing blue jeans and t-shirts outside, stop and do a prom dress outside and watch how it makes you focus, makes you think a little bit better. What I did just a minute ago before I was off camera is I asked her, I said, Kelsey, how flary is this? Because I start planning. I'm thinking about having something where she hugs the dress around her. So I said, how flary is it? And she showed me. It's this flary. Okay, so that tells me that it's not one of these super form-fitting type dresses. But I'm constantly, like I showed y'all earlier, watching the subject, how they hold themselves. Notice with the one knee bent that she's doing, she does that a lot too. So I know she's comfortable like that. Little things, I'm constantly watching the subject so as to know how to pose them, all right? Here's another thing that I'm always looking for. I'm always looking for flowers. If you notice, if we flip around this way, there's flowers. Too bad this ain't smell-o-vision because it smells awesome out here, okay? But these little flowery things, girls love that kind of thing, is if there's some kind of flower in the picture, boom, mom is going to buy it, okay? So this is just fact, okay? So if there's some kind of way to incorporate that in the image, make sure you do it. This next shot that we're going to do, what we're going to have her do, is I'm going to have her sit right here. Sit on this lip with your feet going straight out that way, okay? And what I'm going to do, this is going to be real tight on her face, okay? And she has a little bit of a reddish hair. Isn't it kind of reddish? I dyed it. Oh, you dyed it that color. It was reddish? It's less reddish now? Okay, I thought that. Okay. But it's still got a little tint to it, okay? Well, that reddish tint in the hair works really, really well with green, all right? I'm always looking for those contrasty colors, which I don't know, what would you call the color of your dress? Pink. Pinkish? Okay, also works well with green. So by having green in the foreground, I'm going to shoot it from this angle, green in the foreground, green in the background, keeping it tight on the face, it makes for quite an awesome image, okay? I'm just going to take my reflector, because I've done it before. I'm going to drop it right there, bounce a little light right into her face, get down low, like this. Have her sit real straight and tall, okay? Then lean. Now what that does is it shapes out her body. It takes her boobs, it pokes them out like this. It takes her shoulders, pulls them up into her face. Then bring her face to me. A little bit, twist your face a little bit. It puts her face into a little feminine tilt. And it makes for a very awesome image that's very tight to the face and very fun to look at. I make it a horizontal image and put it in the left-hand quadrant of the frame. Have her give me a big old cheesy smile. Make the mamas happy. Right there, baby. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Love it. Just like that. Super simple. I'm trying to, that's what I am, believe it or not, trying to do, is keep it as simple as possible. Stand back up for me. Now, just to be totally off the wall and completely crazy, this nice little pink, cool, off-the-shoulder, fancy shoes, yada yada dress, let's do something. Let's go do it in a place that totally don't match, all right? Which is another way. Come see. And David, if you want, you can swing this camera a little bit this way if you want to have it hover at me. We're going to have it go way over here. Cool, we're back. We're going to have it come over here. I'm going to have her go down this little alleyway. I'm going to tell you when to stop. Just start heading that way. A little bit more, and stop. Then take this shoulder, the one that's closest to me, the one that has no sleeve shoulder on it, and I want you to lean that shoulder on the tin. Not your butt, just your shoulder. A little bit more shoulder blade, like twist there. Okay, now watch. Now, everybody does this. They bend this knee, okay? This knee bends. Now, the problem with that is it makes her hips poke out in a funny way. So instead, I'm going to have you bend this opposite knee, and notice how that just slimmed her down. Did you notice that? It slimmed that down. Watch, go flip the other way. See how wide she looks down here? Now, flip-flop, look how small she looks down here. So again, start taking note of those type of things. Before you pull the image, tell them, bend your right knee. I like that, but let's now try bend your left knee. And let your own natural abilities tell you which one looks better, okay? Then what I want you to do, let me get that off your dress. What I want you to do is grab each side of your dress and then hug your dress to you like this. Great. Then give me the feeling like you're hugging your shoulder to you. Like that, and now bring your face way into the tin like that, and a little tip of your head into the tin. A little bit, again, with that little feminine tilt. Now the rest is face. Now watch this. Watch how this thing, see, it's kind of, I don't know, a little bit sexy, a little bit mysterious kind of thing. Now watch how the whole thing changes. All I have to do is, watch, big cheesy smile. Okay, to me, it kind of ruins that image, okay? So you got to make sure the expression matches the pose. That's very important too. So let's shoot this one, okay? Like that, looking cute. Great, loving that right there. And this so does not match anything. I mean, I got the rusty tin. I got a little green going on behind her. That might match a little bit. But for the most part, it don't match, which is good. It creates contrast. And that contrast makes it interesting to look at. Let's do it. Right there, sugar. Fabulous. Hold still. 1, 2, 3. Let me look. Excellent. You can relax. All right, let's do another one right over here. Come see back around this way. Like I told you about the flowers. We're going to do something with these flowers. David, flip his camera. We're going to do something with the flowers. I want you to go all the way inside there, babe. And lean. Did I do one of you like this, I believe? I didn't? Oh, you're going to love this, especially with the dress. It's going to be wicked cool. I want you to lean your elbows up on the thing. Now, that's just from experience, just from doing it. I know that it feels good for them to lean their elbows. Now, earlier, I told you about with David, with Tyler, I said, I don't like the back of the hand. I don't. But there's no way to fix this. So you're going to notice a lot of times I'll give you a rule, then I'll turn around and break the rule. And then you're going to think, well, what the heck is that? Well, you can't follow these rules by the letter all the time. At least I can't with senior portraits. So here I told you, don't try not to shoot the back of the hand, and now I'm shooting the back of the hand. But here's a little cool secret. I've never, ever had a senior come to me and say, Mr. Kirk, you photographed the back of my hand. They don't know those types of things. Photographers know it, but they don't know it, okay? Little hair in your face. Wait, let me get it. Okay, they know, we know that stuff, but they don't. So when you break a rule like that, fine, break the rule. But know the rule, know why you do it before you arbitrarily just break the rule. Got that? Cool. Moving on. What I want you to do, now watch. We're gonna, this is a classic example of what I just told you. Watch it. She fell into this pose. She's got that left knee bent. Okay? She's looking really good, and I don't know, I honestly don't know what is better. Let's look at her. All right? Left knee bent, like that, looking good. Now bend the other one. Let's pull that knee this way. Great. Now, me personally, I think that looks much better. And you notice what I did by having her undo that knee back to me? So, like that. Look how wide she looks down at the bottom. Bend the other one and pull it over. Now, don't pull it. Just bend it. She still looks wide. But by pulling that knee over, it slims her and makes her hips do what they're supposed to do. Shoulders make up at the top. Waist. Boom. Yes, she's going straight at the camera, but again, she's just like the last person. She can afford it. She's got the figure for it. Let's do it. All right? Like that. Now, little lean of your face. Stop. Just do like that with your hair for me. More better. Good. Let me get you in focus. Like that. Definitely that pretty smile, by the way. I know you have teeth because I've seen them. Beautiful. Right there, sugar. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me look. Excellent. Relax. All right. So, one other thing right here before we go. I want you to go through the gate. And I want you to go that way. And watch how the sun lights up her hair. Now that's, again, from experience. I know that sun is going to be right there about this time of day. And what I want you to do, babe, scooch a little bit over. Don't worry about the snakes. They're not big snakes. I'm kidding. Okay. Put your hands on those, yeah, right there. Then what I want you to do, I want you to lean into it where this shoulder gets like that. Now bring your face into this shoulder like that. See the light on her hair, making her hair look awesome? Okay. Then all I have to do, photograph, line her all up. Don't really need much. Now I would prefer, since I know this is all about posing, but we're going to talk real fast about lighting. I would prefer to not have this light hitting her in her shoulder. Let's just say I'm in a hurry at this very moment. Okay? Again, I doubt if she's going to know the difference between whether that light is there or not there. I could really worry about it later, fix it in Photoshop. It's kind of a hard fix. But for this sake, for the sake of doing it, for the sake of being in a hurry, I'm just going to shoot it without doing it. If I had her mom here, I would probably have mom hold that light up, the reflector up, so as to block it. All right. In fact, what I'm going to do, just so you can see it on the video, we're going to get close. I'm going to shoot it. Then I'm going to go. In fact, I'll shoot 2. One right, one wrong. Watch this, so you can see both. Chin down a little bit. Turn your face to me slowly. Little small smiles. Yeah. Right there. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Now watch. Don't move. Great. Stay right there. I'm going to switch my camera over to 10 seconds. Right there. Stay looking at my camera. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. So that's what you could do. So, and I'll show you both those images as they pop up onto the camera, and you'll see the difference between them. And it does make a difference. We do want to do things the right way, but there are some times when, frankly, you got someone waiting in the lobby and she was late, she took too long in the changing room, and that's life. That is reality. And so you got to get the shot. You can't just say, I'm sorry, and send them home. You got to do something. So that's just some more real-world scenarios. We're going to move a little bit deeper into the backyard, so we're going to take 2 seconds while we move some of the cameras around. Be right back. All right, so here we are back outside, different location. All right, this little setup you can do. I know this is all about posing, but posing leads into props, okay? Well, this little setup, it's either a love-hate type thing, okay? I went to a used tire place, and I asked him if I could have some of his tires that were absolutely not going to be sold. Because a lot of times, they trade these things in, and they get a little just by the pound or something like that. And the guy said, sure, man, go inside this truck. I go inside the truck, take as many as you want. So I got all these used tires. The paint that's on these tires is strictly a rubberized paint that you can get from Lowe's, Home Depot, any of those types of superstores. And make sure it is designed to paint on rubber or plastic, because if not, it cracks. So I just spray painted a bunch of these things in the afternoon. While I was at it, I went and got a bunch of plastic shutters from the same place, spray painted those while I was doing that, and you create this colorful scene, okay? So it's one of these types of things that I notice seniors either absolutely love it or they absolutely hate it. So what I always do is I make sure it would be something along these lines, okay? I want you to hate it for one and love it for another, okay? So I would say to the senior something like this. I would say, okay, I'm thinking about doing something like here. I don't know, maybe like with you in the stuffing is going to be real super colorful. What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, okay. Are you sure you hate it? Because you haven't even seen it yet. Have you seen? Okay. All right. Well, look, we don't have to do it. We don't have to. I don't know. It's no big deal. So she would hate it, and I would be like, hey, thank you for telling me, you know? Okay, on the flip side, I would say, oh, let's do this little thing right here. What do you think? That would be cool? I love that. All right, yeah. So in a situation like that, I don't mind have a big deal asking. Sometimes it depends on the rapport we get with together. Sometimes they're talking to me back and forth. Sometimes they're real super quiet. If they're real super talkative, then sometimes I'll just shoot it and not even ask. And then I'll show them on the back of the camera, which I'm going to give you a little demo of that in about 2 seconds. So we're going to pretend she loved it, all right? So what I want you to do, I want you to go back there, and I'm going to move you around a little bit. Right there, that's good. Scooch to the middle. Good. A little bit closer to me. Right there, good. And I want you to put your feet like about that far apart. And again, I'm looking for some kind of a pose that is like, you know, super fun, kind of exciting, kind of interesting, that kind of stuff. So we're going to try, first of all, hips going that way. This is something I do a lot too. I'll do that and look at her and say, okay, all right, remember. Now let me flip your hips this way. Okay, for some unknown reason, I rather them the other way. So we're going to go back the other way, and I don't have a reason for why I liked it one way or the other, okay? So hips this way. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to gather up just a little bit. I don't want you to, like, lift up your skirt or nothing stupid like that, but I do want you just a little bit of a hip like that. The other way. This side a little high, this side like pushing down, like that. A little bit of hip going on. Good. Let your elbows fly out, like that. Now bring your face into here. Good. Chin down a little bit. Awesome. Like that. Just like that. Then, with keeping the tires in the front and the shuttery things in the back, we're going to do it just like that. Now, the face has to match, okay? So the kind of face I want is like, shoot, I look good. Yeah, that one. Good. Now, watch. Here's a cool thing I want to show you. Watch this. Now, if, I can make an awesome point right here. Watch. Well, if she had, don't do it, but if that hand was ever so slightly higher, it's too sexy for senior portraits, okay? Now, if it's too sexy for senior portraits, if the pose is too sexy, the face absolutely has to be a mama face, like mama smile. Watch. See, yeah, it's got to be that smile. Now, if on the flip side, it's just right on the edge of sexy pose, then you can have the sexy face, which is where you're totally serious, where you just let your lips separate a little bit, in fact, almost like you're breathing out. There. That's sexy face, okay? So you can, with senior portraits, the rule of thumb is this. You got posing, you got expression, and you got lighting, okay? You can have 2 of the 3, but it ain't cool too often to have all 3. So you got to be very cautious with that kind of thing. So let's do this shot. Coming back this way. Good. Little bit of hip, babe, just a little bit. Like that, like, shoot, I look good. That's the one. Fabulous. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Wait. Of course, I've got, just like the last session where I made the mistake and not put my camera back after 10 seconds. Guess what I did? I did it again. So here we go. Click. Let me make sure. I'm going to put the camera back off of that mode. And we're going to make another one just to be sure. Like that. Love it. 1, 2, 3. Love it. Awesome. Relax. Okay. Then what I want you to do, come see this way. I want you to slip right over here, and I want you to come see right here, and I want you to kind of give me the feeling like you're hugging yourself with this shoulder, like that. Okay, how about this crazy talk? I want you to give me the feeling like you turn, keep twisting away from me. Twist, twist. Okay, right here, there's a little strap hanging out. I want you to make sure that don't show. Better. Better. Watch, I'll pass it this way. Okay, like there. Good, good, good. Put that back down. Good. Like your back to me. Now take your left hand, hug your head like this. Like that. More indie hair from the right side. Like that. Yeah, 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 yeah. In fact, both hands like this. Like that. Good. And now all this is going to go here, here, There. Keep that face. Keep that face. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Loving it. Stay looking at me. Good stuff. Like that, babe. You looking fabulous. On 3, right there. 1, 2, 3. Let me look. Excellent. Okay, come see. Let me show y'all real quick. This would be very, very typically what I would do with a senior. Okay, she can confirm that I did this with her senior pictures. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys hear the exact speech that I give a senior whenever I show them the back of the camera. I'll say, okay, now what I'm about to show you is what we photographers call raw files. Okay, raw files means that there's no enhancement, no adjustment, nothing has been done to it yet. Okay, it's straight off the camera. Now the reason I tell you that long story is I don't want you looking at the back of my camera and thinking to yourself, oh, these don't look as cool as the ones on his website, because I'm not done yet, okay? They're just straight off the camera. But what I do want you to look at is things like, I hate that background, I hate my face, why'd you pose me like that, why'd you make me smile, why'd you make me not smile, look at my hair's poking out, anything like that, that you may feel like I could do it somehow better. By all means, tell me. I want to know. Tell me, because I would rather know now than later. It's a whole lot easier to fix it right now than it is to fix it later, okay? So I haven't prompted her, told her to lie and say, oh, I love him. So if she doesn't like something, I really want you to tell me, even though we're on camera, okay? So let me just show you that, and that, and that. That's kind of dark right now, I know, but it's not going to be dark when I'm done, okay? And that. And that, same thing, it's not going to be that dark, and that. And back where we started. Okay, so you like them all? Yeah. All right, so let's just pretend. All right, let's just pretend you don't like that one. This one you don't like. Okay, what don't you like? What don't you not like?
My hair's messed up.
Your hair's, oh my God, let me look. You're right, it is messed up. Crap, man. All right, is it that little piece of hair right there? Okay, if I could take that little piece of hair out in the computer, would you then suddenly like it?
I would.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to take that little piece of hair out. Now, that's what I would really do. Or if it's one of these things where, you know what, it's all about time. Whether it's, is it going to be faster for me to reshoot it, or is it faster for me to retouch it? In this case, it would really be faster to retouch it. But she already lied to me and said she liked them, so I ain't going to really shoot it over. But in this case, it would be faster to reshoot it. So what we would do is we would go over there and we would literally reshoot that image, okay, so as to make sure the hair's not in the face and it's looking as best it can, okay? So that's another little tidbit for you as far as to make your senior pictures better, because if she doesn't like it, let's say I'm thinking from photographing her the first couple of 3 shots, I'm thinking, boy, she has a cool, serious face, and I did them all super serious. Then she looks at the back and she goes, well, I don't like those. Well, what don't you like? Well, I'm not smiling. Well, what is she saying to me? She's saying to me she rathers smiley poses, okay? Remember, it's all about her buying stuff from me. I want her to buy pictures from me. So if she loves smiley pictures, as much as I think she probably looks better serious face, I'm gonna shoot smiley pictures, and I'm gonna do smiley poses, okay? Now, real quick, as a total side note, David, start creeping that way. Don't move. Start creeping that way. Watch, I gotta show y'all something. She did it again. She's doing it again.
Oh,
like, don't move, don't move, don't move. Okay, see, she does this. This is one of the reasons why she's here, is because I was hoping she would accidentally do stuff like that. She just fell into yet another pose, okay? See, look at her. She got her hands on her hip. Notice that the hips, notice the angle of the hips. Okay, notice the angle of the shoulders. I can make it a little bit better by that. Shoulders, hips, knees. Do you notice how they each go at a different angle? Her face, her eyes at this angle, her shoulders, her hips. Her one hand, notice, slightly higher than the other. I didn't do all that. She just fell like that. Okay? Well, those are the kind of things that you got to start watching for. Because she fell like this, I would typically make sure I do an image like this. Okay, if I didn't have my brain all in video mode, okay, I would constantly watch the subject. And so that makes me think about something else I thought we would do for just a few minutes, maybe 3-4 minutes, is just to show you a sequence of the way it can happen. If she's fallen into this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and you just keep it on basically her sort of like And watch. Let me move you a little bit this way. So can you, is there a good contrast between her and the background? I mean, you can see all the way around her? Yes, great. All right. So watch. So we could do a pose just like this. Or if that knee is bugging me, we could take the knee and let the foot come over here. No, let your foot come across. Like that. Good. Which makes her even smaller down here. Okay? Here's another cool pose. That makes me think of another pose. And this is what is in real life. This is what goes through my head. But this pose then makes me think about a pose whereby I want you to put your hands like this on your face. Like that. Boom. Don't move. And I could come in and I could shoot that. Click. Just like this. Okay, this pose makes me think, what happens if we have you turn like this, okay, and then then put your hands up over your head like this. Of course, we'd have to fix the bra strap. All right? We're going to click right here. Come back right here, Dave. Like that. Hands right there. Boom. We can do a shot like that. Here's another cool way. She does it very well. But a way to get people to fall into this pose right here is to tell them, what I want you to do is give me the feeling like you're going to touch your butt to your back. Do it. See that? All right, boom, she just fell into that. Another thing, and I know depending on what part of the country you are watching this, you're going to say, no, you don't, Kirk, but it's true. I will say, poke out your boobs. Watch what she does. Boom. See how she just did that? She puts her in an upward posture. Now, you might not be able to pull that off in your part of the country, but in my part of the country, I can say, poke out your boobs, all right? So you may have to say, what I need you to do, baby, is arch your back. Give me the feeling like you're making an arch in your back. Which you notice it did exactly the same thing. All right. Now what I want you to do, unfold that. All right. I want you to hug yourself. You got to be cautious with this one because if she has ever so slightly a slight amount of belly, if you do this, it makes her look pregnant. Not cool for 17-year-olds. Okay. So hug yourself. Hug. All right. Give me the feeling like you're pulling this shoulder into your face and you shoot that right there. Okay. That's another one. All right. We're going to flip you all the way around this way. You're going to take your right foot, you're going to kick it forward like that, and you're going to roll this shoulder here, twist, 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 good, just like that. And then what I want you to do, I want you to take this hand, I want you to put it in your hair, like that, good, stop, boom, and you shoot it real tight, tight on the face, boom, like that. Make sure the hair kind of, if she's really got it going on, which of course she does, you can make sure a little piece of that hair crosses the eye, like that. Click. There's another one, okay, another pose. From there, that could lead to put one hand on top of the other. No, in fact, let's do this. Put your hands, let your hands go back to back, then cross, then roll that all the way over like this, and now hug that, like that. Boom, there's a sweet. Now watch, you got to have the right face. Watch the difference. That face versus a little sweet smile, little like, Dad, can I have $50? That, click. Did you see the difference? It's the words, it's terminology, things you come up with over time that you got to use. Like, and I know it. I guarantee you, Kelsey has said, Dad, can I have $50? And she puts that face on. And Dad, what does Dad do? He gives her 100. Okay, depends on Dad, but mostly. Okay, so it's little things like that you got to kind of learn over time that you can do is to get the right expression out of people. From this pose, it could lead to. We don't really have, I can do it right here. Inside the studio, I have a posing bench, but watch, we can do it right here. What I want you to do, I want you to put your left foot forward, your right foot back, and I want you to get a little closer, so close you can put both hands right there. That's kind of gross, but that'll have to do. Give it a feeling like you're poking your butt out, like that. Now hug yourself with this, and her hair mostly goes this way, so we're going to tip all of this way, and we're going to shoot that right there. Click, okay? Making sure that don't cover her face. Okay, click, when you shoot it right there. Now, that could then lead to, if we had a table, which we don't, but that's okay, you could take this hand and you could put it, let your elbow push this way, and we kind of did that inside. And this is sitting on a table, and boom, like that, click. Don't press too hard on your chin because you're going to wrinkle up your face. And so as you can tell, if you do a little bit of practice like this, one pose, relax, one pose can literally lead into another pose. Pose after pose after pose. Where do I get all that from? Where do all those poses come from? It comes from practice. It comes from time. Just like I said earlier, I used to walk into the studio and wonder, oh my God, what am I going to do now? But I look at magazines, I look at billboards. But the biggest thing I do that has helped me out tremendously is I watch people. People will typically pose themselves. She's doing it again. Look, watch, don't move it again. She's just got her hands like this. All you have to do is modify it ever so slightly. Have this shoulder twist, tip your head like this, like that, and like that. That's just sweet. Little sweet smile, a little flirty with the boyfriend, boom, click. Do you see that? So, I mean, people, for the most part, will absolutely pose themselves. So, if you didn't get anything from Kelsey's little segment, get this. Watch people. Watch how they hold themselves, and you're going to be an expert poser. Next, we're going to do some of our next senior, who'll be here in a minute. We'll come right back. We'll probably start right inside the studio. So let's get started again. Our next model is Callie, and here's the deal with Callie. Callie is an average senior, okay? In that she is not the perfect 36, 24, 36, size 2, okay? She is an average senior, all right? So what do you do when a senior comes in and they're not the perfect size 2, blonde hair, blue eyes, all right? Now what? By the way, before you look at this video and you think to yourself, I can't believe he's saying all that in front of the senior. I've asked Callie 2 or 3 times whether or not I can speak freely, and she said, I don't care about all that. Okay, so you're going to meet her in about 2 seconds. So I wanted, because this is one of the things that, from talking to photographers on the Pro Forum, by the way, if you don't know about the Pro Forum is a website for professional photographers that I own. I've been owning it for several years now, whereby photographers exchange ideas, okay? It's PRO4UM.com. And you should go there, check it out. If you're not already a member, for sure, become a member, all right? It's $249 for a whole year of access. And you learn stuff like you've been learning on this DVD, except you learn it from some 2,000 other photographers literally from all over the world, okay? Well, from talking to these photographers around the world, I have found out that one of the biggest challenges people have is, what do you do when a senior comes in who's quote-unquote average size? In other words, let's put it on the table. They're overweight. Now what do you do? Okay? Oh, sure, they come in size 2, blonde hair, blue eyes. You can stick them in any kind of pose you want. And they look good. But now what do you do? Now what happens? Well, that's what I want to broach next. So far we've done a guy, we've done the perfect senior, perfect shape, perfect height, all this other good stuff. Now we're going to do Callie, who is a beautiful girl. Let me introduce y'all to Callie. Come see Callie. Beautiful girl. Some of her senior pictures, just did her senior pictures, what, 2 weeks ago? Okay, and they were just, I mean, absolutely incredible. If you go to the Pro Forum and you look at the Kirk's 2011 thread, you'll find the pictures. Or go to my website, kvphoto.com. You see pictures of Callie on there. They're just awesome pictures. But here's some of the things that she has. This is very, very typical what a senior would wear, okay, when they would come into the studio. What she has is a shirt, an outfit that has her arms are exposed, okay? I'm going to pick on her a little bit in that she's got a little sunburn thing happening right here where she's starting to peel, okay? Very, very common, very, very typical, okay? She's got, this is not the most perfect outfit, okay? She's got a white top with a multicolored background, bottom, okay, creating all kinds of crazy contrast. If I was to pick this outfit, I would have never picked it. No, I would not have, because it don't fit inside the world of the perfect photograph, all right? But she loves it. She obviously loves it, because here's what I told her to wear. I told her, I want you to wear something that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you think, shoot, I look good. So she feels she looks good in this outfit, all right? So now it's my job as a professional photographer to take this outfit and make it all that it can be, to make it the most incredible picture that has ever been, all right? So some of the things that you got to look for whenever photographing Callie is you got to make sure, just like what we talked about before, that you never ever photograph her where she looks bigger than she really is. You always want to photograph her in such a way that she looks smaller than she really is, all right? So here's one of the most unique things about people who are overweight. And I know I got my nerve because I'm at least 50 pounds overweight myself, all right? Every person on the planet, I don't care who you are, we all weigh the same thing from right here up, all right? All of us, we all weigh exactly the same thing. From here down, we got all kinds of crazy weights going on. But if you photograph somebody and if you focus on a bigger girl from the neck up, she will absolutely love you, all right? And like I told you so far already in this video, a lot of the seniors don't hear all this stuff that goes on inside my head. But I am in it for the money, all right? I do this because it turns a profit. And my objective is to photograph her in such a way that the money floats from her pocket into my pocket. That is my objective. So I want to photograph her in such a way that when she looks at them, she cries. Because y'all all know the saying. Dean Collins started it. If they cry, they buy. Okay? So I want to create images that she is just absolutely freak out loves. So here's some of the ways that you can do that. Okay, babe, let me show you. To start with, what I want you to do, don't worry about your butt, not in the picture, okay? Now notice too how her hair goes. See how her hair flows this way? Everybody typically has that. They got either the hair flowing this way or the hair flowing this way. It's very rare in today's seniors that the hair is all perfectly even. Back in the 80s, that was like senior heaven. The 80s was big bouffant hairdos with hairspray. The wind would blow like a hurricane could come through, and the hair would never move, all right? Well, that don't happen anymore. You got hair, look, hair completely covering up one eyeball. Kind of a funny story. I got to tell you this funny story. This is a funny story, okay? This is God-honest truth, all right? I'm photographing one year. This has been about 8, maybe 9 years ago. And I had a whole bunch of high school seniors that came in. Wait, don't move it. A whole bunch of high school seniors. And they all had this thing going on with the hair. See the thing? With the hair hanging in the face, like this, hanging. And so I would have them move the hair, and look what it does. Fall right back in the face. Move the hair, move right back in the face, okay? So I got so frustrated by that. I was like, can't we do something about this? And so finally I got to where I couldn't stand it. And this one girl, she comes in, and she got the hair completely covering up the eye. Very much just like that. See how it completely covers one eyeball? Here's the hair completely covering up this eyeball. And I got to where I couldn't stand it. And I said, sweetie, I got to ask you a question. Did you purposely go to the hairstylist and have them cut your hair to where it falls and completely covers up your eye? I got to know. I mean, because you got a pretty eye, one of them, but what's with the other one? I can't see it. And she says, and I know y'all going to think I'm making this up, but I'm not. She said, oh, well, you see, Mr. Kirk, when I was born, I was only, and she reaches right here and pulls it away, I was only born with one eye. And there was no eyeball in this head, right here, no eyeball. And I'm like, oh, sure. I finally say something, and you got no eyeball. So ever since then, I'm real cautious whenever they got the hair like this that I don't make a comment about it before I check out to see if there's an eyeball there. Okay, so let's get to it. Here's what I want you to do. Put your right foot forward, your left foot back, and I want you to lean. Y'all saw me do this a little while ago, but we're going to do it again. I'm going to show you the difference. I want you to lean on both elbows, okay? Now notice what I just did. Notice what that did to her bulk. By doing this, it slimmed her. I stretched out the arm. Sit tall. Look at, lean on this hip. I want you to watch. Watch what happens. When she leans into this arm, notice how the arm got bigger. Now stretch up straighter. Now the arm got smaller, okay? So by doing that, it makes this arm a little bit smaller. Now at some point, you cannot get the arm any smaller than it's going to be. That's it. The rest has to happen inside the computer, which is a whole different DVD. Check that out on the Pro Forum. There's a whole story about how to slim down an arm inside the computer. But you can also do it with cropping, all right? And watch. What we're going to do is, I'm going to bring your face real close here, and you're going to tip like this. Make sure her eyeballs show, okay? Like that. Get that little piece of hair out of the way. Come on. Don't get mad. I did this the other day, put my finger right in the girl's eye. It was a mess. Okay, what I'm going to do in the camera is I'm going to crop right here. Not here, because if I crop here, I show the entire arm. But if I crop here, okay, it gives the illusion of slimming that arm down, because all of this part of the arm is not going to be in the photograph. And then I'm going to crop here and here and here, and then I'm going to shoot it right now, and you'll see it as it pops up on the screen in just a little bit. Let me get that in there. Callie, roll your face like this, babe, like that. Pull that shoulder just a little bit to your face. Stop, just like that. I'm going to get a little bit more light on the background behind you, so just 1 second. Make that like that. All right, and let me crop that in just like I was saying. Great, perfect, right there, sugar. I need just the beginnings of a smile. Let me put my camera back in inside mode. Just like that. Yeah, beautiful. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Let me look. That's fabulous, okay? And so by doing that, as you can see, which is probably popping up on the screen right about now, you can see that I have completely slimmed out her arm by cropping it halfway off, okay? Sit back up for me. So that's one idea whenever you're photographing someone who's slightly overweight. Another thing that you gotta always do is you gotta hide stuff by cropping. Watch this. Let's say she makes a comment about, oh, we're having a course of conversation. It's like, oh, you know what I love so much about this dress, this outfit? What's your favorite thing? Oh, I just love the way the green colors just blend in with the white top. Oh, crap. That means I can't just shoot just headshots. That means I got to bring in the bottom some kind of way. All right? So what we're going to do, babe, is I'm going to have you twist your toes this way. Back up just a little bit. Right there. Good. Then notice again, we talked about this a minute ago. Watch this with Callie. Notice how slim she is this way versus turn straight to the camera. How much wider she is that way. All right? So what we do is we make sure her body goes completely sideways like that. Then we have this. Then what I want you to do is, let me think, what would be the best way to do this? Put both hands up on your hips. Okay? Let your thumb go in the back. Like this. Watch. Thumb in the back, fingers in the front. Good. Thumb in the back. Yes, like that. Good. And then roll your shoulders to me. Roll your face to me like this. Great. Okay. Get that hair out the way. Stay, 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 stay. Come back. 20 minutes left? Awesome. No problem. And so what I'm going to do is, watch with the cropping on this. I'm going to crop this horizontal. Okay? Keeping in just a little teeny piece of the dress. Ramming her all off to one side like that. Right there, sugar. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Awesome. What I did, watch. Stay like. Notice the picture's probably up on the screen. I cropped it into here and into here. Okay? And put her all off to one side. Again, squeezing her in to the image. Okay? Relax. All right? Let me flip this back. Let me do one more kind of tight head shot that you can do that's also quite handy. We're going to keep that background. I'm going to have you... What I want you to do this time is lean just on this elbow towards me, okay? Now, what that just did, I don't know if you see it, but notice how it took all of this, all of this right here from her boobs up and into the shoulders is all pretty much the right proportion, okay? Right there, okay? And I'll tell you what, since the heck with fighting that hair, we're gonna keep it. We're going to give it like a little bit of split like that. And what I want you to do with your face, let your face totally relax so much that your lips separate. Okay? Just like that. And then I'm going to shoot that in real tight again. And watch how that takes and slims her right down. Perfect. Perfect. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Now, while I have you there, it made me think of something that I've done in the past. All right? Like I told you, a lot of things that I will do, one thing reminds me of another. All right? And so while you're here, I'm going to have you be a little bit taller, like to there. I'm going to pull this out. All right? I can see both eyes. Chin down a little bit more. Right there. Stay, stay. Come on, stay. Like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop so tight on her face that I actually cut off one eye. One eye. Watch this. Right? Ooh, let's try it horizontal because I just did the last one vertical. By doing this one horizontal, it makes it look completely different than the one before. Right there. Great. All right. And that is a cool look. And it's one of those ones like I told you a little bit earlier. Sit back up for me. By doing that like that, what happens is by doing that, it gives you a shot right after the shot. And she probably ain't going to buy it. She probably ain't. But it's cool. It's like, ooh, that's cool. And if you have some in there that are, ooh, that's cool, if they don't buy it, it's okay. Because you got 5 other ones. We shot 6 shots, 5 other ones that they are going to buy. And that's what you got to slip those in every now and then. Okay, so how much time we got on that tape? 18 minutes? Okay, good. We're going to keep going. What I'm going to do for the next few is similar to what I just did to the last model. I'm going to take this out, all right, and I'm just going to put up a white background. And it's going to be kind of a messy white background. And I'm just going to go pose into pose into pose. We're not actually going to shoot it. I'm just going to go pose to pose to pose so that you can see how, from one pose to the other, some different things that you could do to create a slimming effect. Okay? Now, I will say this, that one of the reasons why Callie was asked to do this is because of the way she holds herself. I don't know if you guys have noticed it. Come stand for me right here in the middle, babe. I'm going to flip this around the back of you, David. Callie holds herself real tall. Look how she's standing. She's all super confident. She's all up like this. Her shoulders are back. She's sitting all up like that. It's obvious that she's extremely comfortable with herself. Okay? There's no way I would have one of these type of classes or do one of these posing things with someone who, let me just show you, there's just a slight difference. I want you to ever so slightly bend your knees, ever so slightly. Let your shoulders fall forward. Okay? Chin down. Okay, looking up at the camera. That, boom. Just those little, I mean, she didn't move but maybe 1/4 of an inch. And look at the body. Look at, you can tell it gives off a, you know, nobody loves me look. But now if she goes back to that tallness, okay, got the nice big old cheesy smiles on her face, she's being happy. That's one of the reasons why I asked her to do this. And that's the way her senior pictures look. I mean, she looks extremely confident. So that's what you have to do. That's what is our job. She walks in all kind of half slumped over like that. You got to give her, look, sweetie, what I want you to do is give me the feeling like you're poking out your boobs. Pull them shoulders back like that. Keep them knees real straight like that. What I want you to do, I want you to put one hand on top of the other, okay? And I want you to hug yourself with those like that. No, except I'm going to fling it like this and right there. And look at that, boom. And you crop that to here, okay? Boom, 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 boom. Do you see what I'm talking about? All right. That could then lead into, what I want you to do is swivel all the way around that way. And I want you to put both hands in your hair and look at me like right there. By the way, there's only one way to fix that. That's Photoshop. Only one way to fix that sunburn situation. All right. Like that. Right there, looking into the camera. All right, stay all sucked up. I have no problem telling someone to stay sucked up. Okay, just like that. Now your lips, I'm digging that. Now let them relax. There, click, just like that. Okay. From there, you could go into flip all the way around, face this way. Scooch that way a little bit. Scooch that. And twist towards me a little bit. Keep twisting. Let your fingers go. Let one hand fall on top of the other. Okay. Now, here's an awesome one to show you something. Let's say she saw this, something like this, because y'all have seen me do this. I did this to the last senior. So she comes in and she says, Mr. Kirk, I want you to do a shot of me, like my friend Kelsey, and she had her hands all up in the air like this. Can you do a picture of me like that? Well, this is way too wide. She's not going to like it. But I will do it. I will do it, but I am going to reassure her when she looks at the back of the camera that in the computer, and this is the terminology I use, I'll say something like, look, baby, don't even worry about this. I know you probably think your arms look big, but don't even worry about it. In the computer, I'm going to shrink them down. So it's like I put the blame on something else. It ain't her fault. It's the computer. Okay? And that's what, for the sake of protecting people's feelings and at the same time, producing the best image possible. Relax. Okay? So those are just a quick sequence of events, quick sequence of images that you can do to do that slimming thing. Another thing that you can do is, let me pull the white paper out a little bit more, and I'm going to show you a pose where they go to the floor. David, how much time I got on that one? 12. Good. Put that a little bit more. That'll work. Okay. All right, so watch. What I want you to do, I want you to lay on your back right here with your feet going that way. On your back. Yup. Swing your toes a little more that way. No. Keep your legs straight out. Now, lay on your back. All the way on your back. Great. Okay. Then what I want you to do is take this hand, Notice how, again, I'm not going to touch her or anything like that. A couple of these times I pat her on the shoulder, but me and her got to be buddies when we did her senior pictures. I want you to take this hand and I want you to lay it on your shoulder. But I want your wrist on top, like that. Roll your face to here. Okay, now take just ever so slightly your left knee, bend it. Good. Now, what I want you to do, stay sucked up. And I want you to give me the feeling like you're poking out your boobs, like you're arching your back. Like if I wanted to pass my hand under your back, what would you do? There. Good. Keep this hand up on top. And I want you to look down low. David, we're going to get real low. Like on the bottom of your between over there, look. Between your other tripod. Real low. Almost to the floor. And we're going to shoot under the light. In fact, we're going to shoot this one. We're going to make this one before she goes change clothes. Okay? Now, by doing that, my position is going to be literally laying on the floor. I get all the way on the floor. Bring your chin up a little bit, babe. Literally laying on the floor like that. Stay sucked up tight for me. Right there. Awesome. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Excellent. Okay. So by doing that, it just gives a ton of variety, a ton of different ways to do different things. There's nothing for me to grab the floor, to hug the floor, lay on the floor, stand or get a ladder out, shoot down on people. That's another one I'll show you real fast before we close out. Stand back up for me, sugar. That will absolutely slim people down. Is you take and you put your wide-angle lens on your camera, something like maybe a 14 or 16 millimeter. The one I love the most is the 16 to 35. And especially if she was like into sports, maybe she's a baseball player, basketball player, a cheerleader, anything like that, have her with her thing. Did I see an iPod a little while ago?
iPod.
iPhone?
My mom has iPhone.
Okay, we're going to pretend you have an iPhone, but it's mine. Okay, so that's your iPhone, all right? And so watch this cool trick. You have her stand for me right over there. No, right over there. Right there, a little bit back, a little bit that way. Now turn, just like notice how she turned a little bit sideways to the camera. I'll get high, and I want you to hold that iPod straight out to me. And I want it right here. I want you to lean to me. Lean, push your butt away from me. Good. Put your other hand on your hip. And if I have my hand on your butt, did y'all catch that? Watch. If I had your hand on your butt, I'm going to push your butt this way. Like that. That's another little trick. You can say things like that. Look, if I'm grabbing your shoulders, turn them like this. That's another little trick when it comes to posing. Okay? You're going to hold this right in the end of your fingers, like this, to me. You're going to turn your face to me slowly, just like that. Awesome. And what you do is you shoot high, down on the subject. And let me get you in focus. Make a little tiny baby step that way. Your feet. A little bit more. Both of them. Good. Right there. Chin up a little bit. Just like that. Awesome. Right there. Don't move nothing, sugar. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Great. And what I'll do with that is, can you see that, a piece of that? Well, I'm sure it's coming up on the screen now. Okay, what I'll do is I'll then take one of the pictures, another picture of her from one part of the session, and I'll stick it in Photoshop inside of the iPhone. Okay? And so it's kind of neat. It also, because I'm at a high angle with a wide angle lens shooting down on her, it takes, her head is bigger than the rest of her body. She's at an odd proportion, because the iPod is pushing way out, iPhone or whatever is pushing out to me, it's really big, and it's probably up on the screen right now, and you can see what I'm talking about. And it allows for you to get a full body shot of her that is very, very slimming. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to have her change, and we're going to go outside. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 shots, just like that. Just like we told you before, 6 shots in every outfit. I'm going to have her change. We're going to do the next little segment outside. Cool. See y'all in a minute. All right, so here we are back outside, and we're going to photograph Callie in this outfit, blue jeans, very casual, okay? Of course, you notice, like, again, nobody follows the rules. She's got polka dots, she's got flowers, she's got crazy white, she's got crazy dark everywhere, going all over the place. I know that this is true because I've talked to certain photographers who will actually say that they'll send the senior home. I'll send them home if they're wearing stuff that I don't like. No, I'm not like that. I just can't bring myself to do that. My thinking is, again, I told her to wear stuff that she thinks makes her look beautiful. She thinks she looks beautiful in this. I think she looks beautiful in this. It's my job to then turn this into absolutely the best possible image, okay? So let me show you some of the stuff I would do with this type of outfit. It's very casual, okay? So what I would have you do, come see, babe. What I want you to do is I want you to sit on your right hip. Sit on your right hip, right here in the grass. Your hip in the grass. And I want you to lean your elbow on that thing. Good. And let your feet stretch out a little bit. Okay? Then what I want you to do is roll. Roll. Do whatever you got to do to end up with both elbows on that thing. Don't worry about him. Stay looking at me. Flip all your hair out of here. Good. Now, by having her do that, okay, again, it stretches out her body. All right? It stretches out her body, makes it real super elongated. Her shoulder coming in takes and thins her out, okay? Do that one more time right here. And then it's all the matter, there you go, beautiful. It's a matter of cropping at this point on my part to create the best image. Beautiful. Okay, sugar. Now, just like before, I'm always looking for different things. I'm constantly thinking about whether or not mom's, stuff that mom would want, stuff that the aunts and uncles would want, stuff that the grandparents would want, the boyfriend, all that kind of stuff. So this one's definitely got a little bit of a mom or a grandmother feel to it for me. So I need that big cheesy smiles, yes. Little tip of your head this way, babe. Great. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. Let me look. That's fabulous. Okay, stand back up for me. What I want you to do this time, I want you to come all the way over to this chair, and I want you to put one leg on that side and one leg on this side. And I want you to sit. Okay? Now, by positioning her like that, what I have done, if you notice, from this angle, is I have chopped off most all of her body with the flowers that are in front of her, okay? By doing that, I completely slim her out because you just don't see it, okay? What I want you to do now, I want you to twist to where your left knee pushes up against the thing. In other words, just kind of like that, good, like that, good. And I want you to flip all your hair over, just let it all hang out this way. I'll flip all of it to that side. Good, like that. Now, just like that, roll it like that. Good, good. So the bulk of her body is hidden behind those bushes. Now I come in and crop it just a little bit, add a little bit of light to her, just like that, and little smirk, little flirty with the boyfriend. Just like that, sugar. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Yes. Fabulous. You can see that image come up. I've completely covered up the bulk of her. Again, like I told you before, I'm keeping it tight on the face. All right? Stand back up. Another way of doing that is this. You can do this with different pieces, different props, different things that you may have. So watch. I want you to come see all the way over here. Hi over there, lonely camera way out in the far distance. Didn't want to ignore you. Okay, what I want you to do, I want you to get your body way around over to here. Okay, let your hips go way around this way to this side, just like I'm doing. A lot of times I'll do this, by the way. I'll literally demonstrate it. She can get a better picture of this. I want you to put one hand out here, and I want you to stay peeking through this crack, okay? Now, that's going to put the majority of her hips behind and out of the way, and that's going to keep a lot of her body covered through all of this, and you're going to stay looking at me through there, okay? Let me see what you look like. Cool. Let this hand be a little higher. Okay, you know what? Let that hand grab inside one. No, from the inside. Now 1 over, 2 over, and higher. Good. All right, now, there you go. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Good. Now, the rest I do with cropping. All right, sugar, this is really spectacular. Oh, that don't count. This is really spectacular. I need to see both eyes, though. Better. And just a little bit, I need you to push your face this way. Stop. Great. Staying like that. Now I need that little flirty with the boyfriend. There. Awesome. Don't move. 1, 2, 3. Hang on. Great. Okay, and that, I don't know if you noticed. Watch. Keep that video rolling. Go back into that pose. By doing this, nope, it was out here. Yes. By doing this, what happens is all of this fell into shadows. Okay, all of this fell into shadows. This makes a V, notice, right here. Okay, which subconsciously, I don't know if you're feeling that, but it takes into your body. It makes you think, because this follows a slimming V, it makes you think that's what the rest of her does. It doesn't, no offense, but by tricking your eye, tricking the viewer's eye, by putting her in positions like that, you make her appear, again, smaller than she really is. Come see Sugar. Now, y'all saw me do this pose just a few seconds ago, but I just remember when I did Callie's senior pictures that this was something that just was super spectacular. She had a little bit different of a hairstyle, but I'm going to do it again because I just wanted to pop up on the screen. But I did this right here. Again, I kept the camera high. I did this to the other senior, Tyler, a minute ago, but the sun has totally changed. Earlier, the sun was there. The sun is now getting more into an optimal position, okay? So she has what we call a prime time session because she's at a time of the day when the sun is absolutely in prime position. But I don't only do seniors at prime time because that limits the number of seniors that I can do. I want you to sit right here. Back your hiney up. No, don't back your hiney up. Good. And I want you to take and do like this with your hair. Get it all nice and wonderful all around you. Nice. Good. And I want you to let your head touch and looking up here at my camera. Now again, my camera angle is going to be real super high. By having this high camera angle, it creates a very slimming effect. I'm looking for that little bit of sun, Sugar. Give me a second. There it is. Okay. And I'm going to shoot down on her. Cropping real tight. Right there. Right there, babe. Here we go. On 3. Now, what I want you to do with your face, let your face relax so much that your lips separate just a little bit. Slowly turn your face to me a little bit more. The other way. Stop. On 3, babe. 1, 2, 3. Great. Fabulous. Stand back up. Good. Come see this way. Oh, here's another one. Here's another effect that just made me think of something. There's so many, I don't know if y'all picked up on this, but so many times one pose will lead me into another pose. That just makes me think of stuff, all right? And this is one of them. Huh? Here's what I want you to do. Sit for me up there. Hello, far away camera. Okay, sit all the way up on top. Put your feet on top. And push away from me. Right there. And I will close that in, okay? So then what I can do is, again, to create a real slimming effect, is I will let everything around her crop in. What I want you to take your left knee, bend it, lean way over, hug that knee. Lean. Look at me, don't look at the camera. There, don't move, right there. All right, Sugar, you're almost perfect. I want you to have a little less tilt, little push of your body that way. Stop. Too much. Stop. Right there. Staying totally serious. Get in real tight with the crop. Whoa, too much light. Just like that. Right. Don't move. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Excellent. Okay, stand up, come down the steps.
I'm in jail.
All right. So just like that, we did 5 pictures. I don't know if y'all caught that. You notice how if maybe towards the end I'm talking less, shooting more. That's for your benefit, just to kind of give you an idea. This is how it would really happen. Now, with this outfit, I'm constantly looking for stuff that is going to produce cool pictures. Let me show you something that's happened just a couple of days ago, and you got to kind of keep your eyes out for stuff so as to produce really neat images, all right? So my neighbor, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but my neighbor puts up this blue tarp and hangs it over the fence, okay? I don't know why it's there, but it's there, okay? Now, you could get mad, but I figure let's make mountain out of molehill, all right? So, what you do, you know, is you do stuff like this. Find a cool spot, and you let that whole giant blue tarp be part of the pose, okay? You're going to have this chair, nice and ugly, but it does give me something to lean on, okay? So what I want you to do is I want to make sure all your hair falls to the right, and you're going to lean on both elbows, just like I'm doing, like this, and let all your hair fall right here, just like that, okay? Nope, a little more there, okay? Bring your hiney butt this way. Keep coming, keep coming. Back your butt up a little bit more. There, a little bit more. Now start cocking your head more. Good. Now I don't know if you see it, but there's this little tiny piece of sun that's happening right there on her nose. Okay? I don't like it. I'm gonna have to fix that with the reflector. Okay? Sometimes you can fix it by moving the face around as part of the pose. So you might be able to move it to here. Now, see, just like that, by moving her face just a little bit, I was able to get rid of that little piece of sun that was hitting the nose. That was not pleasing. All right? Now, the rest can happen with the reflector. And you kind of line this up whereby you're just catching the blue tarp and you get this really neat effect with just the blue tarp. Let me get you in focus. And you can make a mountain out of a molehill. Let me use my little bit of reflector. Now here's something that happens in South Louisiana a lot. They get mosquitoes. Go away! Doggone it. And by the way, that's not fun to retouch in Photoshop. All right, right there, babe. I need that pretty smile, teeth and all. That's the one. Now look, love that smile. Just let your eyes relax. Better, better. Right there, babe. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me look. Excellent. Okay. So just like that, I took something that maybe was never there yesterday. That's now there today. And what you can do is tomorrow, my neighbor may decide he needs his tarp removed. And so that's another way that you can constantly make things very fresh, coming up with different ideas, coming up with different things. So here's a bit of a review. Let's mosey this way. It's part of our review. What you're going to try to do is you're going to look for situations, look for scenarios, look for ways that you can take your subject and you can pose them in such a way that you can use their own body to make them look smaller than they really are, okay? One thing that you can do is you can take and you can slim them out by turning them sideways. You can sometimes use pieces of their hand or shoulders or hair or whatever the case to take and chop off parts of them. You can use cropping. You can put them behind something. Like if I'm a big giant post, you could have her posed around the post, okay? So as to hide things. That's just a bit of a review. The bottom line is, it is our job to make her as the absolute best she can be, okay? With posing, with lighting, you can pull that off. That's a quick segment. That's a quick, I guess it wasn't quick. It took me several hours here to get through all this. Hopefully from all of that, what you've been able to pick up with is a few different posing ideas, a few different thought scenarios that you can produce better images through posing, okay? Do not hesitate. Do not hesitate to contact me, especially if you're a Pro Forum member. Send me a private message, send me an email, whatever the case may be. I'd love to help you out the best I can. Look at magazines. Look at different articles. Look at billboards. Look at any time that you see images of people, look at it and ask yourself this question when you look at that image. Ask yourself, why? Why does this image look the way it is? If you like it, ask yourself, why do I like it? What is it about the pose? Is it because it's a girl and it gives her an hourglass figure, which is what a girl is supposed to have? Or is it that I like it because of the expression on her face? Why do I like it? Is it the lighting? Well, is the lighting complementing the pose? So you see, that why question can make you have much better images, okay? Beyond all of that, I hope this was helpful for you. I'm hopefully going to produce some more of these as time goes through. But for now, this posing thing has been the thing that people ask me about more than anything else. And hopefully I've been able to help you. Thanks for watching. See y'all on the Pro Forum. See you online. Thank you.